guys, it's Lisa's Finding the Redo. I'm a 59-year-old retired school teacher who need to find a redo, and I found that redo by reselling used clothing, shoes, hard goods, and making YouTube videos. So today we're here for my numbers for October and November. I promised y'all the other day on my first video of the year that I would get y'all my numbers for October and November because that's where I left off. And I wanted to show you what I sold that was $30 or more and how much money I made in both October and November. So let's look at what sold for $30 or more gross profit. This does not include the cost of goods, but I am going to tell you the cost of goods for each item. So in October, I had 11 items that sold for $30 or more gross profit. That means after all expenses, including shipping, I still made $30 profit. Now, we'll have to take in consideration my cost of goods, and I'll tell you that, but $30 or more gross profit. Okay, so the first item, and I'm going to go from lowest to highest. The first item was were 3 Coldwater Creek no iron shirts. These sold for $44.50. I had $14.24 worth of charges, and that included eBay fees plus shipping. I had a gross profit of $30.26, and my cost of goods was $1 each for a total of $3. The next item I sold was a gallery quilted black coat. Now, this was a coat that my mother had back when she was still alive. It was a 2X. And, you know, I'm slowly but surely getting things listed. And so I decided to list this one. It's tough listing your deceased parents' clothes. I gave a whole lot away, but this is one that slipped through the cracks. And I thought I could wear it, but it was just too big. So I decided to sell it. Well, it sold for $46.10. And again, I want to tell you that that does include what they paid for shipping. The selling costs were $15.57 for a total profit of $30.53. And since I had zero cost of goods, then that is my complete net profit. The next item was sold was also an item that was my mother's. This was, again, it was tough. She bought this for my daughter when my daughter was young. And my daughter I loved playing with Barbie dolls and stuff when I was a little girl, but my daughter just really didn't get into it. It was still in the package. It was a vintage Fisher-Price grand piano, and including shipping, this sold for $49.46. The fees and shipping were $16.12 for a gross profit of $33.34, and since my cost of goods was zero, that is also my net profit. The next item was a pair of shoes, Stuart Weitzman black fabric kitten heels. You know, not all Stuart Weitzman sells for good money, but when I saw these, I thought, well, those are really pretty. I should be able to make $15, $20 off of them. Well, I was really pleased with what I did make them. The selling price was $50.45. The fees and shipping were $16.16 for a gross profit of $34.29, and I did pay $3 for these. The next item, I'm not real sure where I got it from, but I think I got it in a Goodwill blue box. And it was a white Warren, that was the name of the brand, leopard cashmere sweater. Beautiful cashmere with a little bit of leopard print. And it was just so pretty. It was just pretty. And it sold for $44.90. It was lightweight, so it was only $10.23 in shipping and fees. So I made a gross profit of $34.67, and I considered I did get in a blue box, so my cost of goods was about $2. The next item that sold was also a personal item. It was an item I loved. I bought it from a thrift store like 20 years ago, maybe. Many moons ago. And it was just so neat. It was a Ralph Lauren rugby hoodie. And I knew as soon as I listed it would sell. It was not in the greatest shape. I mean, it was in pretty good shape, but not, just pristine, because I had loved it and I had worn it so much. But I had the buyer paid $50.45. I had $15.37 worth of shipping and fees for a gross profit of $35.08. And again, the cost of goods was zero because I definitely got lots of money for it out of that. The next item was an LL Bean men's goose down shirt. Real pretty, real shirt. Did I say shirt? It's coat. Coat. I'm reading off here. It says coat. This sold for $70.45. And I had fees and shipping of $19.02. Isn't it great when we can put things in a padded flat rate? It really does reduce our shipping costs. If I can get it in there, I put it in there, because difference of $8.30 to sometimes I can ship items to Texas less than that. But then sometimes I'm going to California or New York and I'm paying a lot more. So I was able to get this in a padded flat rate, $19.02 shipping and fees, for a gross profit of $51.43, and I paid $4 for it. The next item was a pair of Todd's brown Chelsea boots. I got these in a thread-up shoebox like a year ago. Like a year ago. And they sold for $70.15. Shipping and fees were $17.75. And this went in a regular shoebox. And sometimes, if you know, and you've been doing this long enough, you know, it costs a lot of money sometimes to send things in shoe boxes. That's why most of the time I put them in a let's try this again. A padded flat rate. And I wasn't able to fit them in there, but they only went to Texas, so it didn't cost me much money. The shipping was $17.75, shipping and fees, for a gross profit of $52.40, and I did get it in a thread-up shoebox, so my approximate cost was $7. The next item, okay, now this, when I pulled it out, I got this also in a Goodwill blue box, and when I pulled it out, I thought, oh, this is a little cheap dress. It's cute, but there's not much to it. It's kind of a little cheap thing. Well, then you go check comps, and this was a Hill House Athena smock dress, and the buyer paid $81.95. The fees and shipping were $16.54, so I made a gross profit of $65.41. And I approximated, because I believe this came in a deluxe Goodwill box, and so I approximated my cost of being $2.50. The next item is a vintage Circle S leisure suit. If you find any vintage, well, if you're going to find a leisure suit, it's going to be vintage, but if they're Western, a leisure suit that has the Western V's in the front and the back, buy it. You know, pay up for it. You're going to see another one next month that I sold. But the buyer was all in for $90.15. The fees and shipping were $22.61. And I made a gross profit of $67.44. This cost me $4. I bought $2 a piece, and $4. Yeah, I will pay up for Western leisure suits anytime I can find them. Actually, any leisure suit is going to get you pretty good money. The last item I sold for $30 profit or more in October was my highest profiting one. And this was a vintage Carhartt Southwestern jacket. It was blue. It was beautiful. I found it on the ground at a yard sale. It just needed washed. It wasn't in terrible shape, but it was dirty because it was on the ground in a yard sale. Okay? They wanted $2 for it. The buyer, like I said, paid $225.40. The shipping and fees was $45.77 for a gross profit of $179.63. And like I said, I paid $2 for it. $2. I just blew. I mean, I know it was beautiful, but I didn't have any idea that it was that beautiful. Okay, so I wanted to tell you a little bit, still in October, and I'm only doing eBay. I do on Poshmark. I sell on Poshmark. I sell on Mercari. I sell on Etsy. But most of my really good sales come from eBay. So my top categories for October in eBay were women's tops. And 13.4% of my sales came from women's tops. Men's coats, jackets, and vests made up 9.1%. Women's dresses made up 8.1%. Women's sweaters made 7.7%. And men's button-down shirts were at 7.5%. So those were my best categories. It goes down quite a bit from there. It goes down to like 3.5. So I'm not going to go into that. But those were my top selling categories. You need to look at this. It shows me, yes, I don't always like selling men's button downs because, you know, generally a lot of times you have to steam them and it can be kind of a hassle. They're not just easily ready for pictures and everything. But it shows me I need to keep picking them up because it is one of my top sellers. Now for my numbers for October. I had 139 eBay orders, 3 Etsy orders, 38 Poshmark orders, and 3 Mercari orders for a total of 183 total outgoing orders. That was wonderful. I mean, that was a good number. I'd been kind of somewhat depressed because my numbers were like, during the summer were not real good, not real good. But quarter 4 did well for me. And I sell used clothes. I mean, I did sell some new stuff, but I sell primarily used clothing. So I was happy. My eBay gross sales were $3,954.60. My Etsy gross sales were $123.77. My Poshmark gross sales were $881. My Mercari gross sales were $52 for a total gross sales of $5,011.37. I'm very happy with that. Now that gross sales does include shipping. It includes everything they pay with the exception of taxes. I always take that out. I mean, before I ever put any numbers down on my paper, I take out what they paid in taxes. The shipping was $953.55, and that does include eBay shipping as well as pirate shipping. I ship all my international orders, pirate ship, and I always check for some of my in the continental U.S. Cost for shipping, but this was $953.55. I had $629.03 worth of eBay fees, and this includes whatever they charge me, plus any kind of transaction fees, plus any kind of international fees. It's all the fees. My Etsy fees were $10.52, and all my Etsy shipping I also do on pirate ship. The Poshmark fees were $211.25, and this includes any Poshmark fees plus any kind of discounted shipping. My Mercari fees were $9.66 for a total of $1,814.01 total cost. I'll be honest, I just kind of averaged $2 an item for my cost of goods. That's generally where it was, and so that's what I did, because I can find things really inexpensively. So $366 cost of goods, total net sales of $2,831.36. That means that's the amount of money I put in my pocket. The gross average sale cost, and that's before all costs, was $27.38. And the net average sale price was $15.47. So I was pleased. Anytime I'm above $15 for an average net, then I'm pleased. I thought it was a good month. You know, anytime I can put $700 a week, $680 a week in my pocket, then I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm sure y'all are too. Okay, so now let's look at November. Okay, and again, I'm going to tell you my top sales that were for $30 gross profit and more. And this will go in reverse order. And I had 16 items. So the first item I sold was a pair of spring step L'artiste pump shoes. These were kind of like what you think of as the old teacher marm shoes. That's what they look like. And these sold for $46.45. My shipping and fees was $15.46 for a gross profit of $30.99. And a friend of mine gave them to me. So I had zero cost of goods. The next item that sold was a Carhartt quilted duck vest. Those are the tan ones. And it was pretty much destroyed. I mean, yeah, I mean, it looked okay, but there were lots of issues. But it was a Carhartt vest. And I think that young people and young adults and teenagers, they like to be cool. And so if people think that they've been out doing all that work in their Carhartt duck vest, then it makes them look cooler. I don't know. That's just supposing. So the buyer was all in for $50.46. Had shipping and cost of goods was $17.41. So I made a gross profit of $33.05, and then I did buy this for $4. The next item was an item that I got at my favorite, one of my favorite honey holes in Morrilton, and their prices are generally really good. That's why I say they're $2, $4, $1. I really like that place. So it was a London Fog wool blend car coat that had an attached, well, it wasn't attached. It had a scarf, and it was a 3X, okay? A lot of times when I buy coats and stuff, I want to get the bigger sizes because they're going to sell quicker and for more money. It sold for $59.56. The shipping and fees was $26.27. And I had a gross profit of $33.29. And this coat did cost me $5. But for a 3X, I was definitely willing to pay it. The next item is a pair of Asola men's hiking boots. The buyer was all in for $54. I had $20.50 fees and shipping for a gross profit of $33.50, and I paid $4 for these boots at the same place. The next item, and I put it on here because I want to tell you a story. So let me tell you what it is. The next item was a Prada kitten heel pumps. And the buyer was all in for $50.45. And the shipping and fees was $15.98. So, let me tell you about these pumps. Oh, let me tell you real quick. Okay, so the gross profit was $34.47. And you're thinking, hey, that's great. Well, let me tell you a little bit more about these. I got these a while back in a thread-up designer box. I haven't gotten a designer box in probably close to a year. And so these were in a thread-up designer box, so I paid about $19 for them. I had to have the caps, new caps, put on one of the heels, so that was $4. And they had some issues, so that's why I wanted a professional to do it. Sometimes I can do it myself, but the leather on the back of the heel kind of needed, not on the back, but on the front, I don't know, had to be glued down. So, whereas it looked like I did really good, really, I only made $11.47 off them, which I'll still take. I'll take it. But that was kind of tough when you think, oh, that's a good sale. But when you break down your numbers, that was why I think sometimes when resellers don't tell you that, when YouTube resellers don't tell you what their cost of goods was, sometimes that makes it a little difficult. If they tell you they got it at the bins, you can guesstimate. But sometimes we just don't always know what people are paying for their goods. So I just wanted to let you know that whereas it sounded good, it wasn't quite as good. The next item was an LL Bean tan women's barn coat. And this was an extra large, and it sold all in for $55.50. The fees and shipping were $18.21. So I made a gross profit of $37.29, and I paid $4 for this also. The next item, okay, I'm not real sure where I got it from. Not real sure. But I think I got it at the Conway County Care Center, which their stuff's $2 generally. So we're going to say that. I either got it there or at the bins. So it was either $2 or less. So I sold a new Peter Millar linen wool sweater. It was pink. It was beautiful. You know, it took a little while to sell, but it sold. And it sold for $55.50. The shipping and fees were $15.75 for a gross profit of $39.75. And like I said, I put down my my cost of goods at $2, but it was either $2 or less. The next item was a McAllister's sheepskin Sherpa vest. Now I'm telling you all this time, are you saying, I've never heard of half of this stuff? Well, you're right. I had never heard of half of this stuff, but when I got in there and thought, that looks good, I ran comps. You know, sometimes what I do is I get, 4 or 5 things together and then I'll run comps, and then I can always put them back on the rack, but I always put them in my basket or buggy or whatever I have. But the buyer was all in for $57.95. Fees and shipping were $17.93 for a gross profit of $40.02, and I paid $3 for it. The next 2 items are both Tony Lama cowboy boots. If I find cowboy boots in good shape, I'm going to buy them. Especially, like you said, Tony Lama, that's a nice brand. If you can find Fry cowboy boots, more power to you. Good luck. I hope you do find them. But the buyer was all in for the first pair at $61.96. The shipping and fees was $21.46 for a gross profit of $40.50. And I did pay $7 for these. I don't normally pay that, but, I was willing to pay that because I knew that I would have a decent return on them. The next pair of boots was a pair of Tony Lama square toe women's cowboy boots, and they had a really cool cross on the side, and they were just beautiful. And the buyer paid $64. The fees and shipping were $21.46, and I made a gross profit of $42.64, and I only had to pay $4 for these because I got these at Conway County Care Center. The next item was a Cabela's camo Berber fleece pants. And I'll be honest, I almost put them in my booth for like $3.95 because I knew I could sell them because I only paid $3. And so I knew I could sell them, but I didn't list them for forever. Why? Because it was during the summer when I got them. And I just didn't list them. And then they got kind of pushed back aside, and I thought, okay, you better get these listed. I bet you can get good money. Well, I did. The buyer was all in for $60.50. She's shipping and fees, that's shipping and fees combined, were $16.64 for a gross profit of $43.86, and I paid $3 for these. The next item I got at the Conway County Care Center. That is, I just love that place because you can get different things. It was a Lily Pulitzer lace overlay romper. When I bought it, I thought it was a Lily Pulitzer lace overlay dress. And when I got it home, I discovered it was a romper, and that made it like $10 better on the sale price. The buyer was all in for $56.95. And Lily Pulitzer normally is known for their bright, beautiful colors. Well, this was a navy romper. The shipping and fees were $12.47. The gross profit was $44.48 for that was a gross profit. I paid $3 for them. The next item I also bought over at the Conway County Care Center, which was a vintage Newport News denim jacket. And it was really neat. It's kind of a light denim, light color denim. It was very heavyweight, but it had kind of woven leather on the collar and everything. So it was really neat. And I sold it for $72.55. The buyer, that was what the buyer was all in for. The shipping and fees were $24.77, and this went to Israel. So that included international shipping through pirate ship for a gross profit of $47.78, and I paid $3 for it. How many of you would be glad to sell? I mean, this was not anything special. You think Newport News, that's like a catalog company that wasn't even a big deal. But I made $47.48, 78 cents in my pocket. The next item was a Dale of Norway extra large cardigan that I got at the bins. Yes, the bins. First time I'd ever found Dale of Norway, and I've heard so many YouTubers speak of it. And it was a beautiful cardigan, but it wasn't just in your face. Sometimes I think you get a better price for the in your face Dale of Norway cardigan. It did have some detailing, but nothing in particular. And it sold for $80.45. The shipping and fees were $20.62. And I made a gross profit on that of $59.83. And it was about 2 pounds, so I estimated, at the time my bins were $1.49 a pound, so I just put down $3 as the cost of goods. Okay, the next one. This next item, I got in a thread-up fun box. Yes, a thread-up fun box. And so you're thinking, okay, she made $59 on the last one. What's she making on this one? Well, this was a new Aldo Miss to Mrs. purse. And I thought, oh, well, that's cool. I should be able to get $20 off of that. Well, after the opening and everything and getting ready to publish the video, I was running comps, and they were great. So the buyer was all in for $95.95. Shipping and fees were $22.36, and I made a gross profit of $73.29, and my cost of goods was about $3.50. Now, I'm sure that by far paid for all the stuff that I kept and everything, but isn't that wonderful? Okay, and then the last item that sold for, or that had a gross profit of $30 or more, was a Haller Brothers quilted jacket that I also bought at the Conway County Care Center. The buyer was all in for $129.50. Shipping and fees were $25.09 for a gross profit of $104.41, and the cost of goods was $5. Wow. I mean, that blew my mind. I mean, I knew it was a nice coat, and I don't even think I ran comps in the store, but I just knew it was a nice coat. You know, when you feel them, and for $5, I thought, I will take a chance on that. So my top categories for November were, first place, women's tops, and that was 9.4% of what I sold. The next item were women's coats, jackets, and vests, and that was 8.3%. The next item was women's sweaters, and that was 6.8%. The next item were men's coats, jackets, and vests, and that was 6.7%. And then the next item was men's button-down shirts for $6.3%. So again, it tells me I'm doing okay by getting those button-down shirts. Now, nowadays, I'm looking for those 2XLs and bigger, but a nice polo or along the lines large, I'll buy it. A medium, it has to be special because it's going to sit. There are so many medium button-down shirts on eBay. So let's go over my numbers for November. I had 132 eBay orders, 0 Etsy orders, 29 Poshmark orders, and 8 Mercari orders for a total of 169 total outgoing orders. That's 14 down from October. Okay, 14 down from October. but stick around for the numbers. My eBay gross sales were $3,977.11. My Poshmark gross sales were $586. My Mercari gross sales were $171 for a total gross sales of $4,734.11. That's almost $300 less than October. My shipping was $968.48, which was a little more expensive than October. My eBay fees were $573.71. Of course, they were down because I had less eBay orders. My Poshmark fees were $141.51. I must not have had as many shipping discounts is what I'm thinking. My Mercari fees were $32.36 for a total cost of $1,706.06, 6 cents, which is about $108 less. So we're getting that. I had a higher cost of goods. I had no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I had $338 cost of goods for a total net sales of $2,690.05. So about $140 less than October. I'll still take it. The gross average sale price was $28.01, and the net average sale price was $15.92. I'm very pleased with both of these months, and coming soon will be my December numbers and what solds. And I think I will be very pleased when I put those numbers together. One of the reasons I do YouTube is it kind of keeps me grounded. And by doing these videos, it even grounds me more. That kind of forces me to look at things. I might glance at them. I might kind of contemplate what I have. But by doing this, it makes me dig down deep to see what's working for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please put down in the comments. Do you like this way I'm doing it by telling you like my top sales and telling my numbers? Do you like that? Please tell me in the comments. I appreciate all of you watching and all of you with your comments. They really are encouraging and they help me out so much. If you want to see more videos like this, if you want to see more mystery box unboxings, if you want to see more like weekly unsolds, then please hit the subscribe button. And I need you to do me one favor today. I need you to go out and find your redo.